first time I met Sam, he asked me if he could lick my face. A little while later, I started going to the rock wall at Merida College, and every time I went in, I'd ask his friends for updates on how he was doing. He was the kind of person who could lick your face, and then you wanted to know more about him when he was on a hiking trail 2,000 miles away. And what I'll always carry about Sam is how loving, open, creative, and genuine he was. I've always thought about Sam every place I've gone, and anytime I'm having an amazing situation, I know that Sam will be enjoying that just as much as I am, probably more. And I'm gonna miss him, and love you, Sam.
When I was 18 years old and just about to graduate from high school, Sam was in the middle of early 20s romantic angst. He went on a walkabout, as he is wont to do, and he ended up in front of my house at 2 a.m. I woke up my mom and I told her I'd be with Sam, because one of the tricks of high school was if I told her that either Sam or Joey was going to be there, I was allowed to go. And I think that worked out for her because they got me out of more trouble than they got into. But on this particular night, we were walking around, and he was so mad at himself over something so stupid that no one even remembers now what it was. And he asked me very seriously and very earnestly to punch him in the face. I punched him in the face. And Sam Dollar is the only person, before or since, that wasn't in a martial arts class with me, that critiqued my punch while rubbing his own jaw. And he thanked me, and he meant it. I have so many stories I could tell, but that's the one. Thank you, Sam.
By far, my favorite memory of Sam was the night when we were 19 or 20, and he asked me to punch him in the face. And I figured, after everything we'd been through, that it was the least I could do for him. So I happily obliged. Totally sober, just jumping around. There's actually a video of it somewhere I'll have to find. He's jumping around and he's like, "Just punch me in the face, just do it." And I was like, "No, I don't want to." And then he says something rude, and I just stopped and looked at him and jacked him so hard in the jaw with the right hook. And he just drops, mouth full of blood, jumps back up. He's spitting blood on a white brick wall, and he thought it was awesome. And I agree, it was awesome. And I told him after that, I said, anytime your face needs punched, day or night, you just give me a call. I will punch it. And I will laugh while I'm punching it, and a great time will be had by all. But I don't know why he never asked me to punch him in the face again after that. I guess once was enough for him. I'm sure I'm not the only person who had the privilege of punching Sam in the face, but I may have been the most enthusiastic. Sam was a wonderful guy, and we'll all miss him.
If I ever leave this world alive, well, thank you for the things you did in my life. If I ever leave this world alive, I'll come back down and sit beside your feet tonight. Wherever I am, you'll always be more than just a memory. If I ever leave this world alive.
All right, hello, Dollar family. Here we are. Kinski, Barefoots, the Van Fossens, Aaron and Keeg. This video is a remembrance for Sam. We love him. We will always love him. We'll keep him dear in our heart. My favorite memory of him is not so much a memory, but how he brought me into the Marietta family, and I wouldn't have met all these wonderful people without him.
I'm always going to remember Sam's smile and his willingness to make anybody smile, whether he meant to or not. The conversations that we had, serious, not so serious, things that we needed to worry about and things that didn't matter to anyone. Sam was always there to talk, and that was great. I'm always going to miss him and be thankful for him.
Sam, you're one of a kind. Everybody who knew you and your positive vibration, your pulse, how to always erupted goodness, will always remember you. And your loud, outspoken voice that we always will.
Yeah.
Okay. You know. Sam, love you, man. I always remember the night you proposed to Kayla, and we were all in San Diego. And
Superman showed up.
And Superman showed up, and it was just the best, funnest night. And you're so sweet to plan to get all the friends there and surprise Kayla, and it was beautiful, and we love you.
What's up, Sam? I haven't seen you in a bit. I just wanted to say I love you, and we'll see each other again. And my favorite memory is just spending 5 or 6 months in the woods with you, and nobody else I'd rather be out there with. So
Brokeback Mountain.
Miss you, miss you, and I love you, dude.
Same. I miss you. I love you. Sam was my first friend at Marietta College. Sam and Keegan were my first roommates the first time I ever moved out on my own. So definitely people and a man that played an important role in my life. One of my favorite memories, or I don't know, maybe not favorite, but funniest, was when Sam and Keegan found a tunnel in our apartment. They spent all day cleaning out a little cubby and Sam's room. Hours. They're upstairs for hours. They come downstairs so excited, covered in dust, covered in crap and filth. They're like black, basically.
Covered in asbestos.
Covered in asbestos. Talking about, Anna, we found a tunnel. Come upstairs, and come inside the tunnel. And I'm looking at them like, fuck no. Your tunnel looks so dirty and fucked up. Hell no. I'm not going in that tunnel. And then they started giving tunnel tours at parties, like late at night drunk. And it was a disaster. This tunnel was awful. But it was hilarious, and it will forever live on in my memory as something funny. Yeah, I love you. I love talking to you. I'm reading a great book right now that I wish we could have drank beers and talked about, so I'm gonna miss that too.
Sam, it was always a pleasure to have you in the house. You made people laugh, you brought people alive. You were just the smartest man in my whole long life that I've ever met. And I loved you very dearly. Saying goodbye from 511 6th Street.
Hi, it's Jeremy. I've known Sam a long time. I've known him since I was 6 or 7, so I have a lot of stories, so I'll try to keep this as short as I can. So first off, I made a list because there's so many. The first time I met Sam, I came home from school and I told my mom that he was the smartest kid I'd ever met. And he was at all my birthday parties when I was a kid. He would always stand next to me and help me open my gifts. He was good like that. He would always ask my mom if he could jump off of the back deck that we had. It was like a walk-in basement with a back deck, and my mom always told him no, but he didn't in high school. Sorry, Mom. He used to spend hours building things out of Legos with me, and then we'd try to come up with rules to some game we were going to play, but the rules were so complicated we could never play it. So that's how smart Sam was. I remember we would play sardines up at his house all the time, and that's where one person hides and everyone else has to find him. And if you are the first person to find them, you have to hide with them, and then there's more and more people hiding. The last person to find everybody is the loser. I remember we couldn't find Sam. When he was hiding, you could never find him. And he was up in the tree in their neighbor's yard, this kind of catty corner to their house, and he was all the way at the top of the tree. And he yelled down to me, "Hey, Jeremy." And I look up, and he's up in the tree. And I said, "Sam, I can't climb up that high." And he just laughed. And so I hid at the bottom of the tree, and they found us pretty quick. I remember swimming over at Derek's house. I remember playing basketball in high school it was in middle school. And it was 7th or 8th grade, and we were down by 10 or 15 points. So they put me and Sam and some other people in, probably Jason. And we were able to catch us back up because we played a lot on the playground in middle school. We were down only by like 2 points, and they took us out and put the starters back in. Never forget how upset that made Sam, and that's part of the reason we joined Kung Fu. So Ashley with Sam helped me, join Kung Fu and pulled me through that. Sam always wanted to do the drunken monkey stuff. He was always good at that stuff. It was always his thing. I remember at Tyler Snell's birthday party, we were playing paintball, and there was this hill that you could hike up on, and Sam and I hiked up there to try to get around everybody, and we came up behind Derek Foote, and we shot him like 30 times. And I remember Sam's eyes and his, you wear the mask so I could just see his eyes, and he was like, when we got behind Derek, he was like, when we shot him like 40 times, sorry, Derek. I remember Sam tearing his hamstring trying to dance in Premiere, and so that hindered his Kung Fu abilities for a little while. I remember him coming up in college for my 22nd surprise birthday party, and he was there for me. And actually, he drove with my parents to drop me off at Ohio State, and, rode home with my mom. So just so many memories with Sam. These are just the ones I can remember off the top of my head. He was amazing. He was a huge part of who I am. I have a little bit of Sam in me, and I think everyone who knows Sam has Sam in them too. So thanks.
So Chris Cole introduced Sam and I a couple weeks before Sam left for Alaska. He had told both of us how excited he was for us to meet because we're so similar and we had so much in common. And Chris was right. Sam and I immediately hit it off. The first couple of times that we hung out, we talked well into the night and had just a great time. And Sam took off for Alaska, but then we got back. He called me right away, and we hung out. We went down to the brewery, and first words out of his mouth when I saw him were, "Dude, I've thought about you a lot while I was gone." Oh shit, that came out wrong. To which I replied, "Check, please." But I knew what he meant. I had just moved here, and I had trouble finding people I really clicked with, and Sam reminded me a lot of the friends that I had left in Arizona. He was intelligent, he was curious, he was adventurous, he was passionate, into nature, and so on. And for the next few years, Sam was the best friend that I had. We did a lot of stupid things together. Shocking, I know. But by far the stupidest thing was continuing the club. If you don't know what the club is, number one, you're lucky. Number two, you probably have less scars than me. I explained the club to Sam at Josh Kunz's house during a party. If you thought I was going to do this sober, you're sorely mistaken. So the club was basically something I brought with me from my dumbass friends in Arizona. And basically you do something really painful and dangerous to yourself on purpose, and then you announce, new club. Anyone in the club has to do whatever it was you just did, and if not, they're out forever. But if they do the thing you just did, they're in the club. You can imagine how excited Sam was when I explained this to him. Just this shitstorm of a game. Within hours, he had actually formed 2 new clubs. One was the dart to the bare ass game, and the swing a wire hanger as hard as your idiot friend can swing it into your bare ass club. Actually, now that I think about it, most of Sam's clubs had to do with bare asses. But anyway, it didn't stop there. My favorite Sam story is based on the club. well, my favorite story other than the pee story, and I really hope somebody else tells that story. But basically, Sam and I had got a BB gun, and Chris Fennell got involved, and at Chris Fennell's house, and we decided to figure out the most painful parts of our body we could shoot with a BB gun before we would quit. And we started with our hands, our feet, our bare hands. I mean, it was awful. And because there's probably ladies in the room, I know what you're all wondering. And the answer is yeah, we did. And it was awful. But desperate to not be outdone by Sam, I turned the BB gun on myself and shot myself point blank in the forehead. And I'll never forget the moment I had done something so stupid that even Sam Dollar looked at me like, what the hell, man? Interesting postscript to that story. 2 weeks later, when I was rubbing that swollen spot where the BB had hit and wondering why it was still so swollen, I actually pushed on the area. And I had a sensation just like popping a zit, only there was a metallic clink into the sink. And that's where the BB that had been lodged in my forehead, unbeknownst to me, finally fell out. I tell you these stories not because they're what I remember best about Sam, because they're the only things I can talk about without completely breaking down. To the Dollar family, I love Sam more than most of my actual family. I wish I could articulate to you how thankful I am to all of you for shaping him into the man that he became. He was a man that other men wanted to be like, and that women wanted to be with, because both could sense his worth. He had an impact on my life that is more profound than I could ever express. So I love you, Sam. And if there is a heaven, and there are in fact gates, then I'll meet you there, my friend, and I'll bet I can climb to the top of them before you can.
Hi guys, it's Jana Tootin Beardmore. I just wanted to share one of my favorite memories with Sam. It was in kindergarten. We were best buddies one day and played on recess together and laid our towels next to each other during nap time. And during snack time, you had a choice of chocolate milk or white milk, and Sam always got white milk and I always got chocolate milk. But that day he told me that I should get white milk like him. So I ordered white milk and I choked it down even though I hated it. But it was okay because Sam wanted me to, and it was fun, and he was my buddy that day. I've known Sam for 25 plus years, and we have so many great memories together all through grade school, and we were in every class together. He was my first slow dance with a boy in 6th grade. We graduated high school together and college together, and I will never forget what a great guy he was, and I'm really gonna miss him.
Hi, I'm Austin. Sam was one of my best friends when we were 16, 17, really at a pinnacle of youth and vigor and optimism and a healthy dose of self-confidence. And so a couple of memories that always bring a smile to my face. Sam is definitely the only person I have ever met who got injured not once, but twice in very public dance-offs. I remember being in a circle with hundreds of choir people from all over the country, and Sam ran up and did a toe pick, and we were really lighting the crowd on fire, and he proceeded to pull his hamstring, and he had to go to the hospital, and then he was on painkillers the rest of the night, and Mrs. Snell kept tickling him and he couldn't stop giggling. And then he did it again not even a year later at another show choir competition, an entire auditorium full of people, and Sam and I are getting in dance-offs with strangers, and he did a wall flip off of a 4-foot wall, and of course came down and hit his head on top of it and had to get stitches. But those two memories just always bring a smile to my face, and he always will bring a smile to my face. We've really had an incredible time living and laughing and having fun together.
Hey, Matt Nicholson here. Just wanted to share my favorite moment with Sam. We didn't really hang out in high school. We didn't hang out till I went to college at Merida College, and he saw me on campus one day. A couple years later, our friendship was pretty good. We hung out a lot. And one night out of the blue, he just came to my apartment and said he wanted to hang out with someone. And the first person that popped in his mind was me. Well, knowing Sam, he had tons of friends and everyone loved him. And it was kind of great for him to pick me out of everyone he had a chance to hang out with. And it was very special because we hung out for several hours, went down to the brewery, had a couple beers, and we met up with Tim, and then we had more beers. And then we just hung out for the entire night until early morning. And it was probably one of my best nights of my life because Sam picked me and he brought out the best in me and everyone else. And I just want you guys to know that he touched a lot of people's lives and made them better for it. So his memory will live on, even though he's not here anymore. He was loved by many, cherished by many, and will always be remembered. I'm so sorry that you guys lost him. And the world is at a loss without him. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I'm Jason Moore, and a good memory I have of Sam is years ago, he came over to spend the night at my house, and Marietta had a real bad storm. All the power was knocked out, and I thought the evening was shot. And, you know, without even lights, what are we supposed to do? And Sam was excited, though, and he told me this is going to be awesome. And through his ideas and his planning, the evening was great. We played cards by candlelight, we swam in almost complete darkness, and we played soccer in the street pretty much just by the light of the stars. And in that instance, I think Sam really showed his proficiency for thinking outside the box and finding fun in pretty much everything, and taking even a most mundane, simple situation and making a memory out of it, and taking people along for the ride with them. And I think we all need somebody like that. We need somebody like that in our lives who can, you know, see outside the lines and, you know, find the joy and value in everything. To the Dollar family, to Mr. and Mrs. Dollar, and Rachel and Jennifer, I thank you guys for your hospitality over the years and allowing me to be part of so many great times and so many memories with you and your son.
So, memory of Sam. Too many to count, but I'm going to go with kayak jousting. So I used to kayak a lot with Sam and Chris Cole, actually. It was the three of us, and we go out probably once or twice a week at one point, and we would play games. We invented the game of kayak tag. Kayak freeze tag was particularly interesting. But we also invented kayak jousting, which was where you ran towards your opponent in kayak as fast as you could go. Then you took your paddle out of the water, and while trying to sweep their paddle away, you tried to touch or tag them on the shoulder or the side or the back. So it was an interesting game. But one day we are on the water playing, and kind of oblivious to what's going on around us, which is, you know, kind of what we would do when we end up in kayaks together. And we are passing the valley gem. The valley gem is in the middle of the river sitting there, and we've been kind of playing around, and we have just kind of floated up to the valley gem. And we look up, and there's about 90 people watching us on the top of the boat, just all of them staring over wide-eyed, like, what's going on? And Chris and I are kind of, we're not really embarrassed at this point, but then we look in the galley, down on the underside of the valley gem, and there is a bride and her bridesmaids with their faces just pressed up against the glass, just wide-eyed looking, what's going on? and we realized that we were interrupting a wedding with kayak jousting. And whereas Chris or I probably would have paddled to the riverbank and looked off and not wanted to do anything else, Sam cheered them on. He yelled up and he asked if they were being entertained and invited them to cheer for him, to which many did. We did get quite a few cheers out of the Valley Gem, and it was a day I will never forget. And I imagine that the people that were there at that wedding that day and watched it, they probably did not know Sam. I know I've never talked to anyone that was at that wedding. And I'm sure it's probably something they still talk of too. And that's what it was like. That's what it was like with Sam all the time. You always had an amazing story that would stick with you for the rest of your life. And that one, this story, and so many others will. And that's my happy place, actually, is thinking of those. So thank you, Sam, for amazing, amazing memories.
One of my absolute favorite memories of Sam was at a show choir competition. He did that weird like run up the wall and backflip thing and landed the first one so successfully. It was so great. We were all cheering. We were watching him. And he attempted to do it again because more people were paying attention to him. And I guess he thought it's time to shine. And he did it again, but slipped and smashed his face into the wall. Pretty sure there was a bloody nose involved. Pretty sure Dee had to go to the medical tent with him. But it was so funny. It was really funny. So it was like, oh, you cringe and laugh at it. But that was Sam. He was a bit of a show-off and very athletic. And, he just had a zest for life that's unmatched. And he will be greatly, greatly missed by many, many people.
One of my favorite things about Sam is that he was just always friends with everybody in the room, like instantly, no matter what. Including Josh.
I don't know how. Sam, always, you know what, honestly, like, I have a hard time getting to know people and getting to meet people that I feel comfortable with. And one of the best decisions I think that I ever made was the first night that Sam and Kayla came into town. And it was a work night, and basically, long story short, we decided on a very impromptu minute to go over to their house right after the bar closed.
I totally remember that.
Make some stupid decisions and said, let's just go. I have work in like 3 hours, but something about it just screamed to me I should go and hang out. And I think that was the best damn decision I ever made on an impromptu type thing like that.
And I think we stayed up till like 4 a.m.
Every single person that we've met through Sam and Kayla have been the most genuine, down-to-earth, best people that I've ever known. That includes people that I've known throughout my entire life in San Diego. Nothing even comes close to the good people that Sam associates with.
And we'll miss you, dude.